Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Encrypted Connections. I am your host, Kyle, like always, uh, and it is Wednesday night. Tonight we have our good friend. My intro creeps you out, and it's doing its job. It is definitely meant to be creepy. I'm going to be changing that up. For those of you who still haven't gone through and really watched that thing, there's a bunch of hidden stuff in there, and it's meant for people to figure out those hidden things and those riddles, what they are, what they mean. Um, Very specific stuff, but I am going to change it. I'm going to continue to do this over time. Yowie Mob Down Under. Thank you for being here, River. I'm going to change it every so often so that there's new riddles, so that you have things to continue figuring out. Because I think it's fun. Oh my God, we we have got. I don't know who this guy is. Some shady British English character just showed up on my lower screen. Our good buddy Fresh is in the building. I'm surprised he's even showing himself right now. So, I mean, he's still in disguise. Are you ready? Here he comes.
Hold on, Kyle.
What?
Wait, just for a minute, yeah? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. So when I'm going to blow mines,
okay,
I'm going to be wearing these.
Oh,
yeah?
Okay.
Just wait. when I blow mines.
I love it.
You like it?
I love it. I love it.
I think, are you froze? No, you're all right.
No, I'm not froze. Are you froze?
Yeah, something's going on. I don't know what's going on. Just bear with me a second.
Okay, I'm bearing with you.
We've got a delay on.
You've got a delay?
Yeah.
Well, that's no good.
No, I don't know what's going on.
This guy is something else. Look at this dude. You look straight out of a British MI5 movie, bro.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, man.
That's kind of the look I'm going for.
I can see this. You look like you might be in a nice bathroom, maybe. Oh no, it looks like you're in your war room. I see a map behind you.
Yeah, we're in Battle Station Galactica here.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
This is the hub.
What's the map?
Okay, let's just sort this out because we've got a technical issue here.
All right, we'll sort it out. Let's go. Come on. What are you doing?
Just got a massive delay on. Okay, I can see what we're going to do. We're going to leave. We're going to have YouTube off there. Okay, so evening, everybody. How is everybody? Let's start again.
We're
because that was just all a bit cranky. So
it's all right. How you doing? Good?
Yeah, I'm really well, thank you. Yeah,
good,
really
man,
well.
good.
Been a busy day.
Yeah, good. That's all right.
Busy day, but the warrior's always fighting.
That's right, brother. That's
always
right.
Fighting.
Always, absolutely.
I can't see who's in the chat.
You can't?
No, because it's on delay. Let me just have a look. Hey GLO, hey Sharon, hey Lynn, Sandra W, Hope Rising. Who else is there?
Oh, Hope.
The whole family.
The whole family's here. Dave Stewart. What's going on, Dave? How you doing, buddy?
Hey,
thanks for popping in, guys. I appreciate it. Fresh appreciates it.
I do indeed. So here we are.
Dave, man. Dave's always let me tell you, and when I say this, when I say someone is doing something, it's not to ever say that anyone else is not wonderful. I see a name and I remember things, and so Dave is really he just sends like such great messages and comments, and other people do too. I'm just remembering something that he sent recently, and I just wanted to let him know that I really appreciate it, and I appreciate everybody's. I try really hard to respond to every comment, even if it's just to make sure I hit the heart and pin the comment or something if I can't write a message, but I try really hard to at least write something back to everybody. Sometimes I can't, and then I end up feeling bad about it, but
it's nice to be appreciated, isn't it?
It sure is. Yeah, it sure is. And yeah, and I'm a regular dude. I'm nobody, man. I'm just a regular guy. Like that is a wicked mug.
Oh, you like that?
That is wicked, bro. That is wicked.
It's metal.
That is amazing.
You want one?
Oh my goodness, that's amazing, bro. That's great.
And it's a proper man size, man size.
Yeah, not one of those little,
It's the size of my head. Look.
Right. I don't need those dinky little thing.
Them little English things which you go, hello.
Yeah, and hey.
No. You have to drink them like this. You go, oh, hello.
Yeah, and you're done in 2 sips.
But that is the killer mug of all time.
Yeah, that is something else, man. That's great.
These are fresh in from Germany.
Wow, that's wonderful. I love it. Yeah.
But I did a really stupid thing. I thought, one day the coffee had gone cold. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you tell me you didn't.
No. Yeah, I did. Yeah. yeah. It nearly stuck to my hand. Crazy shit.
What a dummy.
I put it in for 2 minutes and I thought it was all pot. Yeah? this doesn't sound, it is metal, but it doesn't sound like metal.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, yeah, it's cool for the go in the microwave. Of course it is. Bobbed it in, took it out, and it's like, oh, hey, mother! Jesus! Dance around the kitchen.
Oh, that's great. Oh, man, to think you protected important people.
Listen, we will have our flaws in the moments when nobody's watching. You want to hear some of the stories? I've got some fantastic stories.
Oh man, I want to hear all of it. I want to hear all of it. So what do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about tonight, man? We talked about some stuff last time, man. I had a lady message me. Actually, I didn't tell you about this. I had a lady message me. She says, because I hadn't changed the title, because you came on when Alex was supposed to be on. You remember?
Yeah. I bet it threw a lot of people.
It did. This lady was like, her message was, "What have I stumbled on?" And in exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. And then she said, "You expect Alex, and you get," and then it was the emoji with the eyes wide open. And she said, what an amazing accident this was. He is hitting every nail on the head. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I'm not around here to talk nonsense or waste anybody's time or preach or any of them things, really. It's just basically, it's about stimulation.
Yes, sir.
So I hate the word like influencer. I think it's a really negative connotation word. When you say you influence somebody, that's saying that you are kind of programming them.
Mm-hmm.
It's that ringhold assassin. Ha ha.
Hello.
Calm it down, cat. Calm it down. So it's all about stimulation, really, because the mind doesn't know what the mind doesn't see, first and foremost. And when you start to open them doors, there's no turning back. Now, the whole story to do with the white rabbit and the white rabbit going down the hole, that's all constructed. It's all completely constructed. What film has a white rabbit in?
Alice in Wonderland.
Okay. And she was on a Discovery, yeah?
Yes, sir.
And that's the message they're telling you not to discover, because it's going to be, I've given you problems, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Many things are shown in films that many people don't even know about. You know, Sleeping Beauty. What's the number one way of killing people? Cyanide. Well, where do they get cyanide from? Apples. Yeah. Disney. One of the worst corrupt, satanistic corporations on the planet.
Dude, you know, I know this is probably known by a lot of people, but I didn't know this until about 2 years ago. They're in almost every one of their movies, the kid movies, like the cartoons.
That's what I was about to say.
There's dicks everywhere.
Yeah, dicks, tits, ass,
yeah, everywhere.
And a lot of the smoke scenes, when you see the cauldron or you see a lot of smoke, you'll always see sex in there, or something to that effect. You know, there's a lot of symbolism, there's a lot of stuff, and it's called what's it called? Subliminal messaging. That's what it's called. Subliminal messaging.
So when I'm watching Aladdin, I'm supposed to be thinking about penis?
It's just putting it's just putting thoughts into your head, you know?
It's really it's really a magic carpet, isn't it?
Yeah. But that's what they're doing. Look where it was all created. And this is something that people need to wake up to, is the fact that I said last time, is that Hollywood is the spell stick. So they're putting the spells into your head and into your mind through what? Predictive programming, which is all into the films, but nobody sees any of that. And everybody's blind and blinkered. But the crazy thing is that people go and pay to watch their demise and they don't even know it. Clever. Very, very clever. And the word for genius in etymology and the study of etymology and the word of language is actually demon. So genius means demon. Interesting, isn't it? It's like Santa. Santa is Satan. All you have to do is you just move the letters. It's very, very simple. Everything is in plain sight, but nobody sees it because they're so in the box. I'm not in the box. I was deprogrammed a long, long time ago, and I'm on a very, very high dimension. I'm not anywhere near on this dimension, this plane. So it's what I know. So what I know, and in the word of etymology is knowledge. To have the knoll, which is knowing, knoll, gives you the edge. Knowledge. So in our world, what we're doing, so me as a researcher, you as a researcher, you as an experiencer, me as an experiencer, we're going out to get the edge over the knoll. So we know. So we can have the upper hand, and so we can spread that knowledge, because that's what it is. That's what we're all here for. There's no truth without knowledge. There's no truth without knowledge. Where does truth come from? Well, it comes from knowledge. But what is knowledge when everything is a lie? Well, knowledge is a very, very spiritual thing. It's very in you. It's connected into you. And that is logic. And through all of the pharma and the fluoride and the chlorines and everything else through your system, washing through your system all the time, what you're doing is you're washing your pineal gland, which is your third eye.
My pineal gland?
Pineal gland. Yeah. So that's why Hindus and stuff have a spot here. Yeah.
Oh, whoa, okay, yeah.
Okay, so they're in contact with the pineal gland. Okay. So these things are very significant because at the end of the day, we're just gypsies. All of us are just gypsies. The people that started all this land really were Tartarians and the likes and Asians. You know, they're all dark skinned. I mean, we could go back and go forward, and it's such a mass expanse. It's just absolutely ginormous. Where do you start? Where do you stop? I think sometimes it's best to break things down into very, very small segments and go for a period of time, because what we're going to have is we're going to have kaboom! And it's just not going to work. So it's like, as we say in the game, in recovery or in development, baby steps, big steps. I think to have the baby steps, we get the bigger steps, and then we have the bigger picture. So it's understanding from the fundamentals, and the fundamentals are probably language, etymology, then going on from there, then going on from there, then going on from there. But there's so much, you know, so much.
Yeah. Now, getting to this, getting back to this whole thing with like the Hollywood stuff. You said something last time you were on, when you were talking about the etymology thing, and tell us again what the word entertainment means.
So, excuse me. Everything is a model, and within models come systems. So, to understand what the word entertainment is, you've got to break it down into the subsections of what that word is a combined word. So within the language, that's entertainment is entering, to be detained in your mind, because ment or mente is mind. That's what it means, mind. So like we said before, government, govern is to control the mind. That's their whole job. And who do they use to do that? They use everything, every facet, everything in their web, that's all paid for by the higher order, because it's nothing about money. Don't ever think this is about money. When you print your own economy, you don't have economy. Number one, how can you? Makes no sense.
I never understood that either. I always wondered, like, we print our own money. Who's going to tell us we don't have any money?
Well, when you print your own money, you can do what you want because there's no debt. But the debt is the fear, because everything is fear, isn't it? Everything is fear-based. It's fear porn. You know, have you noticed, and let's talk about entertainment. This is quite a good subject. So when you look at entertainment and you think, okay, look what's happening around us. Entertainment has now been changed into infotainment. So it seems like there's a great awakening, and all this information's being fed by these operators, these actors, these shills that are all pushing infotainment, but believing and selling that the great awakened or the truthers or whatever they are, but really they're masquerading because they're charlatans. They're part of the problem because they're using the problem to earn revenue, and they have no integrity. So part of entertainment has now become infotainment. So that's information being detained in the mind. That makes sense?
Makes sense, yeah.
Okay, that's it. So that's infotainment. And all these people are pushing this infotainment. And you see many, many people pushing this stuff. There's loads of people. I mean, one of the main people in the Bigfoot world I'm not going to say any names, is an ex-police officer and he's got very tight eyes. So there's many people doing many things. But if you wanted to know the actual truth, to have the knowledge, like I say to everybody, if you've got nothing to hide, show me your bank balance. Show me your bank statements. And then you've got nothing to hide, have you? Yeah?
Yeah.
It's what it boils down in the court of law.
And every one of these world leaders, quote unquote, this is one of the things that comes up over and over again, because people accuse them of doing things, corrupt. And they always say, well, why don't you show us your bank statements? Why don't you show us your tax returns?
Well, they don't pay tax. They
never do it. They'll never do it. Do it.
One thing they don't do, let's clear one thing up. They don't pay tax. Yeah. Nobody at a certain level pays any tax. I mean, the IRS is based, any tax system, any tax model is based on one. Get it out. Go on. You're going to go again?
I usually do, but I guess I'm too old to go twice in one time.
It usually comes in threes, doesn't it?
It used to.
I'll drink to that. So where was I?
Thank you. Bless the same. Bless you. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
I forgot where I was then.
We were talking, they don't pay taxes when they get to a certain level.
So, yeah, the IRS and any tax model around the world is based on one sole thing that they hide from you, but it's in the declaration of the tax. You've just got to look. Okay? So this is very important. You need all to hear this, because every tax levy is you're ruled by consent. So if you consent to what their rule is, then you consent. That's what you do. You get yourself into the contract. Yeah.
There's so much of this, though. Like, I don't think people understand. Well, at least in the United States of America, right? So there are so many things that are not technically legal that they do to us on a regular basis. Like, so we're given we have our civil rights that they cannot violate, but they do this constantly. Do you know that it's not, it's against every civil right that you have for them to try to tell you that you need a license to drive a car, that you need insurance and a registration to drive your personal vehicle?
Correct, because you're not a driver unless you're using it commercially. Because
exactly.
You're
right. So you're just traveling in your personal vehicle.
You're traveling in a personal vehicle. You're traveling. You're not a driver, because
right.
a driver in their rule, and you can define this. A driver in the rule is somebody that is acting as somebody conveying a commercial product or something of commercial value. So that's conveyance of that contract.
Right.
So that's what you agree to. So if you're a haulier or you're a delivery driver or whatever you are, yeah, businessman on the road, field trips, whatever, then you're underneath that contract. But this is the thing with the IRS, and this is the thing with every tax levy. And here it is. It's two secret words. Voluntary contributions. It's voluntary contributions. If you pick the phone up and say, "Hi there, I'm thinking about starting a business. Yeah, I've heard that I've got all the tax sorted. Can you send me the form out?" So they'll send you the form out. Next thing, you fill it in like a good citizen, because somebody's told you've got to pay tax. So you fill it in. All this fear in operation. If you don't do it, you don't do this. This is going to happen. X, Y, Z. Blah blah blah. Fill it in, send it off, because everybody else is doing it. What you've just done is you signed a contract and gave your consent to pay tax. If you never contacted them in the first place, you carry on with your life. I've not paid tax and national insurance for years. Why? Because I don't consent. I'm a living man. I'm a living man on the land. So you have to understand law. And law is land, air, and water. I stand on the land. So I stand under common law. Natural law. Yes, correct. The law that you stand under and everybody else stands under is a law that they fabricated and manufactured, which is called Mariner's Law, Admirable Law, Sea Law. That's why when you go to court and you get told to come into court, you go into the dock, ship's dock, yes? You're a vessel at sea underneath their law. But if you're a living man, you don't consent to that because there's no contract. You're a living man. No living man can go into contract with any business or corporation. Nobody can. And you don't owe anybody any money unless they can produce a contract that you've signed in wet ink. So that's how you become a free man. Now, when you're a free man, you don't have paranoia, you don't have the conscience, you just walk and you just carry on and get on with everything that you need to do. Because it's not part of the realm. And while all this is going on, and this system is playing a massive part of pressure and oppression, and it's all of the time bombarded by repetition from one side, one fact to the other. Do your tax forms, do this whenever a month it is, whatever it is. You're constantly bombarded. But you've consented to do all these things by responding to the letters. Don't respond because you don't consent. As soon as you respond, you're consenting. That's your contract. If you say nothing, you've got nothing.
But so over here though, here's an issue, because you unless you own your own business, then you're not the end all be all. So you work for somebody, you work for a company, or you work for a business, and so when it's time for getting hired, they put you through your little rigmarole. And you have to do this, you have to do that. Here's your training, blah, blah, blah. Watch this video, watch that video, and then do your paperwork. And when you do your paperwork, you have to. They won't pay you because they'll tell you have to do these tax papers. You have to make sure that you do these. Otherwise, we can't pay you.
Why?
Huh?
Why do you think?
Because they're just as scared as everybody else.
No. Bear with me a second. It's my brother.
Yeah.
It's my brother. He always rings me on his way home. We have a really good relationship, so we spend hours on the phone each day.
Good.
So there's one thing there, and that is this. And what you've got to understand is the order, because it's all about order. You have to have order to chaos, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's start off. I'm going to get a memo. I'm going to get one of them whiteboards for here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am. I'm going to get a whiteboard.
All right.
Get a whiteboard. We're going to go through shit, so we can just go bop bop bop. You can see all my graffiti.
We're gonna have to make this like a regular thing. We're gonna have to have you on like once a month or something.
I'm here. I can do whatever. There's lots of stuff to go through, mate.
I know.
It's just ridiculous stuff. Okay.
Also, real quick, I need to interrupt real quick. Also,
if
anybody in this chat, and I'm sure this is probably the wrong crowd, but I'm going to say it anyway. If anybody in this chat is a real big fan of hip hop, right now, Fresh has a deal on one of the nicest hip hop books that's ever been made in history. If you have any kids or grandkids who are fans of hip hop or rap music, this is like a 20-pound book. I mean, this thing is beautiful. I'm a fan of hip hop, so it's something that I need. But I just wanted to put that out
special.
there.
It's very, very nice for those that would like something like that. It's a collector's item, so
it really is. It's beautiful.
Yeah, there's a lot.
It's like it's a coffee table book. I mean, this thing is like it's heavy duty. It's beautiful. The binding is nice. It comes in this super nice bag. It's amazing. And he's got a deal on this thing. They're selling for all kinds of money. Yeah, it's beautiful. I bet you he's going to get it right now. I know that most of my Most of my subscribers are probably not hip hop fans, but I had to say it anyway because it's a beautiful book. Yeah, this is amazing.
So that's the size of it. I'm 6'5". Yeah.
You're 5'5". Stop lying.
Okay. Yeah. Well, there's the door frame, so I just sit underneath it, and that's
Look at the size of that thing.
that's the book.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
And here's a group here. Here's a group here that were part of the building of counterculture in America and all around the world
100%.
to cause utter terror, rioting, brainwashing. This group here. Welcome to the Terror Dome.
Yes. The
fight the power.
That's right. The people in power did not like them because they didn't care. They spoke out against tyranny and injustice and all that.
So nobody understood the actual reason. This is reverse psychology. Public enemy. You are their enemy. You are public enemy number one to them.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's how it goes, dude.
Yeah.
So you are their enemy, and that's why.
Oh, Jody, I hope you feel better, honey. I hope you feel better. Sorry, Jody said she's got the flu.
Loads of vitamin C.
It's going around, so it's bad. It's bad over here, man. It's bad. Plus, then we got this other thing, this RSV in kids. It's awful shit.
What's that?
RSV. It's like a respiratory thing in children. It's really bad, and we didn't see a lot of it at all prior to COVID. I know, sounds weird, but we didn't, and now all of a sudden there's like a ton of cases.
If it's coming at you by repetition, it doesn't exist. It's a fear propaganda to get parents to do a certain thing. It doesn't exist. Everything you see is programming by repetition. This is how they get you to do everything they want you to do. It's just programming by repetition, you know?
Yeah, no, this is different though. So like, there's other things that you hear constantly all the time. All right, this is around every year. We got to get a flu shot. We got to get a This is something we haven't heard about in a long time.
Okay. So in every country, they'll come out with something different. So currently, while they're using that as a reason, in the UK, we've got apparently a bacterial thing that's killing people, it doesn't kill people. I can't remember. It's
streptococcal pneumonia.
Yes, it's all it is streptococcus or something like this. It's not pneumonia. It's just basically it's just a bug. It's just a bacteria. It's nothing major. And they're already saying to start off something again. Look, we've gone through monkeypox. Yeah. We've gone through other things. I can tell you loads and loads of things that they've tried in the UK, different names of different things, but people aren't buying into it. It's like now what they do is the model, the way that they work is a very simple model that it's fantastic, and it's called the Hegelian dialect. So it's crisis, reaction, solution. So they create a crisis, you give them the reaction, and they'll give a solution according to the reaction. Now, this is all down to testing. So when they bring these things out and they get a feedback onto the response, which is the reaction, and it gets less and less all the time, they know that within their operation, they have to up the ante and increase the operation, shorten it and bring it forward, because they're losing the reaction. So the solution has to be greater, you see? And that's how they work. It's just the model. It's just how it is. Everything is a crisis. The banking, a crisis. food crisis, energy crisis. It's fear all the time. Fear, fear, fear. Keep you in constant fear. I don't live in fear because I know everything is all manufactured psychological operations, false events, staged events, whatever you want to call them. Terrorism, staged events, the whole thing. Ever since 2001, the biggest wake-up call of the world, you know.
Do you, somebody wants to know if you've ever heard of David Icke?
David Icke.
Icke. Okay.
Yeah. Who says that?
Pat and Bill Wagner. Pat. Hi, Pat. How are you?
So David Icke, what we need to think about here. Okay, so I'm me, and I'm under license. I'm a known personnel. David Icke used to be a big-time footballer in the Premier League. Then he became a TV celebrity. And then all of a sudden he changed. But he became what we call a controlled opposition. This is what I believe. So his job, and they would never have had him back on the BBC to give him a platform, and he would never have a platform on everything that you see him on, and he's being pushed absolutely everywhere, to push a narrative. And that narrative is within the realms, but there's never any truth. So I'll tell you the truth. Now, I risk myself by doing what I'm doing. So I'll cover myself the best I can. I do whatever I can, but I don't have myself all over the internet. I don't have myself. I'm not an ego person. I'm not doing this for revenue. I'm doing this for love. I do this for love and knowledge. There's nothing else to it. It's not on. David Icke is a machine. It's a business. You know, you've got Icon Media. You've got his son now involved, a family. It's all crazy. He lives on one of the worst satanic islands in the British Isles. He's duped. And, you know, if I said to him, show me your bank account details, he would fail. He would fail. Because I need these people controlled opposition. There's so many agents in so many fields and realms, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, they're all busy at it and they don't care, because what they've been told is you're either with them or with us, and you stick with us, we'll look after you. Okay? That's how it works. It's just how it works. And there's so many like them. There's, whether it's UFOs, whether it's something else, or it's media, it's to do with children. There's just so much going on. And if you look back and just take a step out and go, okay, you'll be able to identify the certain people that are doing all of these things and why they're actually doing these things. And it's for political reasons, for establishment reasons, and it's because they are above everybody else in the realm of the pecking order. So ultimately, you know, the likes of him in media, actors, they're all part of the same operation, the same cabal. There's just lots and lots and lots of different levels. And when you get knighthoods, or when you get certain privileges, certifications, honors, all these kind of things, you're just stepping up that little bit more and that little bit more. And the more servile you are, the more submissive you are, the further you will go, because what you're doing is you're selling your soul. You've left the human realm and you've left your human being friends, and now you want to be part of this subspecies that's part of an occult club. Because let's just think, what is culture? Cult. It's a cult. So they all want to be part of this higher culture. They don't care about you. They just want to make money and feed their sociopathic egos. And it doesn't matter, you know, all of these people that use social media, which is, they're not social media, it's social engineering. That's what it is. It's social engineering. But they use all these characters come up, that get loads of followers, and they just sell themselves. Okay. Well, all of these people are doing that for a reason, because they want that attention, they want that status, they want people to bow down to them and know who they are in the street. They want all of this celebrity status, they want the money, they want the glitz, they want all this, and they're prepared to do whatever it takes. But in process of doing this, including musicians that put on their music up if it's done by repetition as well, and they make a lot of content, they're putting a lot of stuff out there. You've got agents working for all these people that will go and handpick them and find them, and then start saying, "Oh, come on BBC Radio and come on this show," and they come on this show, and then before you know it, they're a big name, because that person there wants to be something special. So this person there knows how to do that and is going to manipulate that, because they know that what this person wants to do. So they take that person, they make them feel amazing, they give them everything they need to give them, put them on this great big pedestal, and it's what they call in Freemasonry or the Jewish order as usury. That's the word. It's called usury. So then they use all of these people, and that's all they're doing, they're using the people. And when they've used them people, they'll get rid of them. And if that person, under contract, under a music contract or a sports contract, whatever it is, if that person breaks rank and starts talking or saying suggestive things or things that shouldn't be part of the program, then they're cut off. They're finished. Bank account shut, identity lost, all these different things, or they're even took out the mainframe. So yeah, it's complex.
Does the BBC, are they aware that their channel and the letters that they use, that those letters are used here in America for a certain type of porn?
Yeah, it's all the same thing. It's
Okay.
all the same thing. It's all the same thing. So BBB, so Build Back Better, yeah?
Yeah.
BBB.
Yeah,
Yeah?
Build Back Better, yeah.
Well, that's B is 6. It's 666. So Build Back Better is 666. B, 666. So BBC, what I know as BBC, is the Bolshevik Broadcasting Cooperation. Okay? That's what it is.
Pat wants to know if that's what happened to Kobe Bryant.
What's that?
Okay.
No, Kobe's probably still alive, like a lot of them are. These are shown to you in films. So Six Underground is a film that they've made, which will show you exactly what they do. So most of these celebrities, no, they're not dead. They go to certain places. If you look at maps nowadays, a lot of places have been removed on maps. Lots of places. Okay. And then places are where a lot of freaks live. A lot of freaks. And I'm just trying to think one of the places now. I'm just a bit tired, so I'm just trying to think what's the place called. So the royals and a lot of people have this island off Africa, and you can't even get near it. You can't get near it. You have to have right of passage in there, photography, drone footage. It will not happen. They've got technology in place on the island to take drones out, to if they switch it on, just to stop mobile phone communications, all sorts of stuff. So they also shown you in Breaking Bad how the deal goes down. So the deal goes down, which is basically you either go to prison or you disappear. Do you really think Ghislaine Maxwell's in prison? Do you really think that Epstein's
no, absolutely not. How perfect was it that he committed suicide? Get the
if you see how they work and know how they operate, if you see how they work and know how they operate, it's look over here while we do this over here.
Yeah, it's just like a street magician.
something was confirmed to me some years ago. I think it was, when was it? It was in the late 90s. And it was to do with two very young children that had done a heinous crime that shook society and the great British public. And these two people did a heinous crime against a child. But this child, they were children at the time. So these children did something to this child. And cut a long story short, what actually happened was the court case at the end to finalise what and where they were going to go after being in prison for so many years. They got £1 million each, resettlement by their family for both families, different identities, and a home each in an area of Spain. That's what happened. Now, the child that they killed and what they did to this child was absolutely horrendous. It just, they stuck batteries up the baby's bum with sticks. They did so many bad things to this little boy, and they took him away from a shopping centre. That's what these two boys did. And the boys at the time were 9 and 10. Now, where did they see or know what to do to this baby, to this boy? But the main focal point of this is the corruption. And that is that the mother of this child was left on a housing estate, a council estate up the north of England with nothing, having a child murdered, knowing that these two individuals were in prison when they weren't in prison at all, because they'd been extradited to Spain with £1 million each family, a brand new life, brand new identity, and 2 brand new homes. Now you tell me what's going on. And what they've shown on the British news, on the news reports through the BBC, was these two people apparently in a van going through these big wooden gates into a courthouse. Well, I'll tell you now, that van was empty. It was all done for show. How do I know this? Because an old comrade of mine, after the military, did a few things, but one of the things he did, he worked for the prison service. And he was one of their officers when he worked in the prison service. And he knew absolutely everything. And instead of having a counsellor under the observation, the monitoring of the prison service and the government, he used to come to me, say like every few weeks on a Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, and we used to sit down, have a tea and have a chat. And what he was able to do then was just able to offload what he needed to offload that was pressure to him, so we could discuss it. Because once you offload something and talk to somebody, that's why talking is the best thing, you release it. If you don't release things, you manifest, and that's what turns people. So yeah, he came along and told me all of this. So when you're talking about you're in a simulation, you're in a show. So they just show you all these things. They just show you what they want to show. It doesn't matter what the truth is, because the truth is not what they're showing you, because the world is a stage and everybody's got a part to play and everybody has an act. So those that are always acting, you'll always see them in costume. So you'll always see them in uniform. Yes. So a uniform is costume. So they're always acting. You act as a police officer. You leave your civilian role. You act as a soldier. You're acting. And by acting, you diminish yourself from liability because you're acting. Crazy.
Good.
It's too much, isn't it?
Well, I mean, no, it's not. You know, there's a lot of this stuff. I've heard at least whisperings about some of it.
It's true. It's not whispers. It's true. I mean, I can. How many people's in the chat? Because I can't see.
23.
23. Okay. So, can we file share or not?
Can we file share?
Can I file share here?
When you want to like show something?
Yeah, but if I show it you,
Yeah,
it'll blow minds. Did you download them WeTransfers, Kyle?
I sure did.
You did?
Yep, and they exploded.
No, they wouldn't have exploded unless you didn't do it.
This friggin' guy sent me some encoded transfer something. It was a love note. Let's just say it was a love note. Just for the sake of brevity. Yeah, they self-destruct basically after 4 days. Well, actually, you said 4 days. That when I
7.
No, not when I opened it. Said 3.
That's how many you had left after 4. You donut.
Oh.
Oh, we've got some work to do with you. Clout.
What a muppet.
Yeah. I'm not going to say anything. Yeah, so you've seen them files.
I did, yeah.
Okay, so what they are is the operations that you're under.
Yeah, it was interesting.
They're really, really, really heavy duty, but that is, Kyle, what every member and part of the cabal gets. All right? That's what they get. That's what they got. So all part of this, you would have had that memo, that manuscripts, them documents. So everybody is in order. Yeah?
Yeah.
So they're very deep, but I have a very, very good read of them.
I've been.
Have you?
It's crazy shit. Crazy shit. It's a lot. It's a lot to read. I'll tell you. There's a whole lot. There's like 113
Absolutely.
pages of one, and I forget how many of the other one. But
well, there's probably hundreds of pages. But you've got a presentation there, isn't there? Is there a presentation there?
Like, what do you mean? Like a PowerPoint thing?
Yes, I think there's a presentation there that was nicked.
I'll have to look.
I'm sure.
I'll have to look back at it again.
Yeah.
I'm going to answer this one question real quick. Autumn, Fresh is actually so Fresh was a subscriber to the channel, and really early on, Fresh reached out to me for something that happened to him that was really, really intriguing. Him and his brother. What we now think was a time slip, and then we continued to talk on and off, and well, as Fresh would say, Kyle would ignore my emails for weeks at a time. But
very subtle.
Yeah, but we continued to talk, and then last week when Alex couldn't come on, I posted the link for anyone who wanted to jump on, and he jumped on and started opening.
No, it didn't. No, that's nonsense. It didn't go like that at all. That's utter bollocks.
What are you talking about?
No. What it was I said to you, do you want to have a look at this image?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
He said, "Do you want to have a look at this image?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "All right, you have to pay me 60 quid."
No, it's more than that. It wasn't. It was only 30.
No, you said 60. I said, "Well, I can't afford 60. I can afford."
So you bitched out and said 30. Yeah.
I can afford 30 on a payment plan, and he said, "Well, all right, fine, but only if the payment plan is 2 payments of 15." And I said, "Okay."
One day after each other.
Right. It's one day after each other. So he came on, he showed the image, which the image was nuts, by the way. I am admittedly really bad at pictures, especially when it comes to like this topic, because most pictures are very blurry, out of focus. You have to kind of look really closely to see what you're looking for. but I looked and saw that goat head immediately.
But you've also got, as in the realm, and we have lots of channels that pump out lots of pareidolia, which is just, I think, is just pareidolia.
It is, yeah. I think there's a ton of it, and I think a lot of people try to play it off as like, oh,
Absolutely.
hey, look what I got. Look what I got.
Clickbait. It's all clickbait because it's bringing in revenue when it's not really about what it is, you know.
Of course.
And I'm one. I won't deliver anything unless it's good evidence. Like I sent you a clip, that video clip with the growl, with the Bigfoot growling at me, grunting. Yeah. That's crazy.
It's clear as day.
It's crazy, that is.
It's clear as day. It is a deep guttural growl.
It just goes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy shit.
It's about 17 seconds in too. It's just like, yeah, it's nuts.
And
I'm the same way though. I won't do that. Like there's things where I'm looking through my videos and I'm going, well, that looks a little weird, but I have not yet once taken any still image and put it out, because I just feel like if I can't look at it and go, all right, I know that's definitely something. Yeah. If I'm on the fence, if I'm 90% I believe it and 10% don't, I'm not putting it out.
Absolutely not. I mean,
I gotta be 99. I'll never be 100 because I'm not there to touch this thing, but I gotta be 99%. If I'm not 99%, I'm not putting it out. That's why I've never put any single clip out from any of my videos, because I just can't say for sure. Well, you know, or at least close to for sure.
To be honest with you, Kyle, I don't do anything until I've had a good feedback of opinion.
Yeah, that too.
And then still, I'll put it out and go, what do you think to this? I won't be suggestive. I won't say, you know, it's this, it could be that, it's this, that, and the other. Sometimes having an image and then circling it is very biased and says, no, it's right here. But that's just, I did that image for somebody else because they seem to be struggling with it, who has the same issues as what you do. They can't seem to look at something or zoom in and notice something. But as soon as you start to pinpoint something out, it's not the fact that that image has been installed in your head. It's there.
Right. Some people just have a hard time. Like I'm just not good at it. There's people who can look at something and they can see it right away. I'm just not really good at it. You know, I just have never been. And maybe that's kind of shitty to be in this field and not be able to do that. But to me, it's kind of, I think it benefits me in a way, because it just makes me that much more diligent about what I'm looking at and what I'm willing to put out. And so
totally. I mean, I have a bank of guys around me, which is all part of the team, and they all have different, they all bring something different to the table.
Don't we all?
Yeah. And one's very skeptical and thinks completely different to one that's all into imagery. And then I have my brother who's so switched on, he will just say exactly what it is, and there's no holding back. It was just the first thing that comes to him, you know? So I think it's imperative just to get feedback. I don't think anybody should just go, oh, this is this, put it out there, blah, 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 because you haven't given it time to study. It's like every video that you do, it takes time because you have to go back through everything and either listen carefully or watch everything. And it's very hard to do the both. For me, I'm a VBP. So being a VBP, I'm constantly, you know, having to do something. So then I have to listen. I have to listen to audio. So VBP is a very busy person, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, I know what that means.
It's a lot of people don't. So I'm always doing something. So I'm always listening to a podcast or.
I thought for you it stood for a very big prick.
Hey. Yeah, there is that as well. So you spoke to the ladies that knew me, yes?
Hey, yeah, real quick, hold on. Yeah. Before I lose this question, maybe you can answer this one quickly.
Okay.
Fresh Dave wants to know your thoughts on what our biggest threat is: Russia, domestic terrorism, etc.
No. Your biggest threat is you being depopulated. Your biggest threat is the 100-year cull. That's your biggest threat at the moment. You're at war. You're at war. These people have been bred within bloodlines through families, and that's their job. They wake up on a daily basis. These people wake up on a daily basis to go to work, say goodbye to the loved ones, people in the street, whatever, and they go to work to find a method how to kill you and cull you. That's what they do. So they do the culling, and it's 75 years. Everybody gets on with it. Population grows again, then they do the culling again. They used to do culling through war and warfare, bio-warfare and stuff like that, but now they have loads of different ways to do it. And psychological warfare is probably the greatest weapon. Like, the greatest medicine in the world is placebo. Figures, yeah?
Well, think about the
greatest threat is the cabal, which is the Order of the Garter. Let's not forget that. That's your greatest threat. Can you stop them? No, you can't, because everybody's under a spell, David, and until people snap out of this spell, we're not going to get unity. Now, they know that once you get unity, you are a power, you're an energy. That's what you are. We're a massive energy. They fear us massively. So what their job has been to do is to kill us off and divide us, and divide in towns, cities, borders, all these things, and bringing immigrants in, all these divisive things that have decultured and decivilized countries, townships, cities, all these kind of things, and it's all by design. I mean, the plan, if you want to look at the plan or know the name of the plan of all of this migration and movement of slaves, people, it's called the Kalergi plan. Kalergi, that's Kilo, Alpha, Lima, Echo, Romeo, Golf, Indigo. Kalergi plan. So you'll see what group of people or what religion that person was. Now, this is all written many, many years ago. So what you see now has already been written many, many years ago. You know, this has been in operation for many, many years. They didn't just get to this stage where they wanted to get to. You know, in our last generations, if people are like older, like 50 or something like that, you'll know about the generation of the baby boom. So when you have these generations of baby booms, you're manufacturing more populace. So why let's think about this. Why then, if population is a problem, do they then put on baby booms? Why do they do that? To build a population of what? Slaves. And it goes round and round and round and round and round. So the biggest danger that you have is human beings.
That's not, yeah.
That's the biggest danger you have, is human beings in power that are able to do all of these operations and programs that not many people even know about through the art of psychological warfare. And through the art of psychological warfare, they'll get you to do pretty much everything, and everybody is acquiescent because most people are servile, myopic carcasses. And through, like I said earlier, through the dumbing down of the species, through the lack of knowledge and believing these people that this tap water that you drink, it's great for you. Drink 5 litres of water a day. There was an operation in England some years ago, which is drink 5 litres of water a day. Then it was eat 5 green things or something, five things a day. All of these things are done through the TV, through leisure centres, through councils, and all of these people are all under the government's order, and each one of these all have specific jobs to do out in the community, and that is to get you to do what they want you to do. Because If you took away everything, if you stopped the media right now, if you took the media away, you wouldn't know anything. You wouldn't know a thing. If you took politics away, you took it all away, and we just had love, and we was all in our own little countries and was all doing our own thing, life would be amazing. And that was kind of how things was. But that was the belief. But you lived a lie, because it's always been like this. You've just been hoodwinked. Always been hoodwinked. Now, one group of people that I have a lot of respect for in America is the Amish people. Now, the Amish people don't give two fucks. They just do what they want to do. They live off the land. They don't bother with all of this stuff. They have long, happy lives. They don't go to doctors. They don't do this. They don't do that. Now, why don't they? Why are they positive, happy people? Because they're not a product of their environment. So they're not bombarded by repetition all the time, yeah? You've got to have
Yeah, well, here's the thing, though. So the Amish here, they're not all positive, happy people.
Okay, no, not all of them, but their way of life, it's their structural, cultural way of life, okay? So it's the same as in England. We have a very similar thing, which is called gypsies, all right? And they live off the land. They're free beings. They travel around. They do what they want to do. They don't bother with all the media nonsense or anything else like that, because they live a very, very kind of primitive, basic kind of life, if you know what I mean. Traveling around with the horses. That's how it used to be, in their carts, etc. Yeah, and exactly the same. And that model seems to be significant around a lot of countries, but they're all called different groups of people. You know, like a lot of groups of different people are. But that model of person, and I'm saying in the gypsy world, there's good and bad in every world, in every race, or in every sector of some certain culture or community. There's good and bad in everybody, isn't there? So yeah, the Amish people, there's going to be good and bad in them. Yeah, you're going to probably have a drug wielding maniac come out of the Amish people, because you are. You're going to have all of these things, because you're going to have pockets of all these different peoples within these groups of people, but the culture still remains the same. And that culture and that goodness has been removed, and it's been removed by basically peer pressure. How about like people that want to how about people that want to kind of, you know, have a different kind of lifestyle, like a different culture, like a gated community or something like that, like Waco. Let's talk about Waco, you know. Let's talk about a community that's basically wants to exist by itself. Doesn't want anything to do with the outside world, but they can't have that, because the cabal can't control you. They can't. You've broken away from all of that. So it's very much an underground underworld kind of conscript that they don't want. You can't do that. You've got to obey. It's like all the world's countries, like Libya, and all of these places that were oil rich, and so rich in minerals and rich in everything, that the cabal of the order wanted to get their hands on it. They can't make all this money. They can't do all these things. We want all of that. So what they do is they go and attack the country. They go and attack them, yeah, and make all this bullshit up in the media. Oh, it's because of this. They did this. They did that. All of these nonsense stories are all completely created, so they get most of the public, so they don't feel bad. They get their kind of authority, acceptance, and then they get everybody then to hate that country, or by putting stuff out in the media and saying, like Russia, how bad it is, and this, that, and the other, and blah, 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 and they're hated all over the world. They do this, they do that. No, they don't. They don't. They were just busy, happy, getting on with their own stuff. Yes, they had some freaky rules. Yes, some countries have some really, really bad, you know, laws and rules and stuff like that. But in a way, we kind of need good and bad, yin and yang. But we don't need, you know, this massive, huge dictatorships that's being run by these human beings that are just...
Well, that's what causes the divide between all of us, is all the shit that they pump over the TV and the radio. And all. I mean, we wouldn't, if we lived like you said, if we all lived in our own little world and all this stuff was gone, and there wasn't any way for this stuff to be spread, and so one day I get on a whatever. I take my horse and I travel across a couple states, and I come to a place with people who don't look like me. I'm not going to go to that place and be like, who are these jerks? You know, they're different than me, so I don't like them. That all that stuff is stuff that they've programmed into you. If we just lived and you came across another people, maybe you'd be a little cautious because you hadn't seen other people before, but probably most likely you'd be like, oh, cool, there's more people like me.
That's right. Of course. But if that group of people had watched the media and the news and knew that person was coming and told how bad you was,
right,
you'd be dead.
That's it.
You'd be dead.
That's it.
But because you're somebody else, you'd be welcomed in as another person. There would be that trust there, because there would be no reason to distrust you, because that group of people doesn't know any other different apart from trusting each other. So until that paradigm changes or that realm changes, they're no different, because that's how they've been like culturally engineered. They've socially engineered themselves. Anybody or a group of people that socially engineer themselves is looked on by the cabal or authority or the establishment as a complete outsider and an enemy to themselves, because they want to control you. That's why you see these people like Tate. Yeah?
Tate.
Yeah, there's a guy, what's his name? Tate. Christian Tate, is it? Not Christian Tate.
That jerk off on YouTube?
Yeah, Tate. So he's there saying this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. He's part of the cabal, because there's no way that you'd allow one person to ever become that powerful. No, it's never going to happen.
Are we talking about the same guy, that little pretty boy numbskull who smokes his cigars? And
yes,
yeah, he's a little. I'd love to get my
hands
around that.
He is, but he's doing the job that they want. he's doing the job that they want him to do. And
he's just out there hurting people every day. That's all he's doing.
Andrew Tate. His name's Andrew Tate.
Yeah, that's it. But
Andrew Tate works for those. He wouldn't be in the position that he is. No way at all. He wouldn't have all of these things, or saying that he's got all these things when he's actually owned. He says he's slave free. He's not slave free. Nobody's slave free. While you're breathing, you are slaved unless you get out of the system. That's why you make a big sacrifice. So the only way you're ever going to do that is you disappear remotely. You take your family. You have no communication with anybody else, no internet, no nothing at all, no communication with the outside world, and you live your life like that with that 4 people, 6 people, or whatever that you go to, and you hope that you'll never be discovered and you can just get on with stuff. That's the kind of sacrifice that you need to make to get out of the cage. Has he done that? No. It's all over the internet. Would he have the platform and all of the publicity that he has if he wasn't part of it all? No, he wouldn't, because they wouldn't want somebody like him telling the information that he is.
And you see, I do. You see what else they're doing though here. Getting back to what you just said, right? Is you go live off the grid, no internet, no nothing. But look at what they're doing. They're trying to make it so that you have to rely on the internet. There's going to come a point probably where you're not going to be able to walk into just about any store and buy what you need if they have their way.
It's all coming very quickly.
I can't go into stores and buy clothes. They don't have clothes that fit me in most stores. Man, I'm 6'3". I weigh 280 pounds. Like, I'm a big guy.
Yeah, I know the feeling. I've always had trouble with my inside leg. I've always had a problem with length, sir. No problems, That's just how you just have to accept it. That's why shorts always look good.
Yeah,
You get them 3/4 shorts, and they just fit just normally like shorts. They're amazing. It's what is this world? This world is everything that you want it to be in your head. So that's the key thing. And that's why I keep saying, coming back and saying stuff about psychosomatics and everything, is that the key thing is when you know and have the knowledge, and you can spin the matrix, because the matrix isn't in control. And when you don't fear death, there's nothing. They've got nothing. There's nothing. There's nothing. The only thing they can do now is take you away and put you somewhere and keep you imprisoned. So that vessel is never going to experience anything again. That vessel, it's going to break you down. It's going to break you down. So the psychosomatics is that I'm in prison, never going to get out. This is going to happen. That's going to happen. And it's going to break you down, because the more intelligent you are and them kind of things happen, the biggest struggle you have is the biggest challenge that you have, because the greatest challenge, after all, is always you.
Right.
So it's you, how you perceive and believe the world. Most people say, oh my God, you absolutely blow my mind, and it's so negative. It's not negative, it's realistic. It's very, very realistic. You may see this as negative, but I can't help that. Don't shoot the messenger. They're making it all negative. You just don't understand in your own ignorance what's going on. That's not my fault. That's not my fault. You're in control of your own ignorance. Nobody's in control of your ignorance apart from you. So if you want to live this world and live this the way that it is, and you're happy with that, and happiness is a whole different fucking concept, project, then so be it. That's dead cool, and everybody should respect each other, how they want to run and live their life. That's what we have to do. And don't forget, like, you know, one of the hardest things, I think, is that we're always acting. We're always acting. You know, when you come on there, you lose that certain part of your personality sometimes, yeah, just to go, okay, I've got to be serious because I've got something to discuss, or you're genuine, or you're in a job where you have to act a certain role, you know, and then you come away and like, you know, I hate everything I do, because you're always acting. You're acting against everything that you're all about. So for me, I never act. I'm always me, and I try not to act. I'm in disguise, but I'm not acting.
He's in disguise, yeah.
I've just got these glasses. That's all I've got on. This is what I usually would wear. So all I've got is a pair of glasses on, just to try and take away a little bit. But you know, the world is what we perceive it to be. And when you perceive the world to be in the model of what they were showing you to be, then that's what you believe it to be. And until that perception changes from having null edge, then you're always going to perceive it that way. And that's why these people just go along in life doing what they want to do, happy, content, and blissfully, you know, unaware of what's going on. And a lot of people's lives are good like that. But there's a lot of people's lives that are so stressed and get so ill because they don't know what's going on. And if you knew what was going on through the psychosomatics, you wouldn't get ill, you wouldn't get stressed, you wouldn't have half of these problems, because basically you understand what is going on. So it can't affect you like it does other people, because you know what's going on. When you get more and more knowledge, you get more and more powerful, and that power then becomes into something that once you've got to a certain position, you want to give it to somebody else to help them out. So that helps their world. That's if they're not happy in that world, or they want to know more. I mean, ultimately, Kyle, why are we here? Why is this channel here? Why are all these people in this chat? What are we doing? What are we here for?
I mean,
good times.
Yeah, good time. I'd like to think that, you know, there's a few reasons. I think that,
yeah.
Number one, it started obviously out of a necessity. Honestly, is really how it started. I was depressed. I didn't have that place to go that I had for a while when I, you know, wanted to escape the kind of the rigors of everyday life. and I just kept thinking to myself, like, well, I wonder how many other people are out there feeling like this right now. So let me start something that's going to help me, maybe help somebody else. And then, you do that, and then it's obviously it all started around my love for the topic of the fringe and the strange and the weird and the truth and all that. And then it became something much better. It became this this family of people who all seem to have these at least similar feelings and thoughts and beliefs, and it just all this love, man, all this love, like it's just crazy. I feel that I don't know, man. It's I don't believe in coincidences, and I just, especially now, I feel like everything was just laid out so perfectly by something or someone. I never claim to know who or what that thing is, but something or someone put everything in place so perfect.
Everything happens for a reason. It's all stepping stones, and meeting Kerry and talking to Kerry and all these kind of things. But it's nice to be reminded of all these things and the real true reasons why we do stuff. And collectively, as a family or as a group, the one thing that pulls everybody together here is knowledge.
Yeah.
It's knowledge. What are we doing now? We're listening to somebody that is spieling a lot of knowledge of stuff that he knows about, that's been given to me or I've learned, and doors have opened. It's good to talk about this. Not many people may know about a lot of the stuff, and some people may do. Some people may be right at the bottom of discoveries and finding certain things out. But ultimately, at the end of the day, collectively, we all come together as a pool, and that pool is for knowledge. There's lots of things that come with that, and you can't have knowledge without having some form of communication. So when everybody's here communicating with each other and being part of a good family, a good group, we all come together and discuss stuff, debate stuff. People put what their thoughts are, opinions in. Topics are born from just one little comment, maybe, or you tangentize onto stuff, and hopefully that through everything we do when we communicate and come together as a community, as a unity of love, that we all take something from it. There's always something that resonates with us, hopefully there's something that resonates, and we can take something from that and then apply that to our life, or apply it to the way that we do things, or maybe try something different, or listen to somebody else's problems and issues instead of your own all the time. Help somebody else out, it's all about knowledge. And without having all these people here, I wouldn't have known some of the things I don't know. I'd never known about how bad quicksand was in the 80s. I'd never known that. And I never knew that most people in America carried an emergency twig. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I never seen that. I don't know where that, maybe Hollywood got that from that.
Right.
Originally.
Well, wait until you see one of the first pieces of Encrypted Connections merch.
Right.
It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome.
So you're doing a bit of merch then, are you, buddy?
Yeah, I'm trying, man. Like I said, I have a really good friend who's a graphic artist, but he's in a rough spot. Like, so his studio was supposed to get done, and then his sister ended up in ICU, and she's really not doing well, so it's taking a back seat.
Priorities.
And this is somebody, I don't know if I've said it on here, but before he did this, when I went to detox, I went to the same place every single time.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a case manager there, and
Okay.
every time I went, he was my case manager.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And then he quit there, and I went to when I went to rehab, I went to the same place
Okay.
for 3 times out of 5, and those 3 times, each time I felt like I learned something. I wasn't willing to do all the stuff I needed to do, but when I did,
He was still in revolt, yeah.
yeah, I was, yeah. And so I go there, and then he was working there, and he was my case manager there each
Okay.
time I went. And he was I've never had anybody fight so hard for me.
Yeah.
I've never had anybody just believe so much, at least at that point. I don't think most people had distanced themselves to a degree where they just, they couldn't be around me. And so he was instrumental in a lot of what happened to me getting sober. And then it's just so crazy how things work, man.
That's how it works.
He quits. He moves halfway across the country. He wants to follow this dream of his. He starts creating these amazing pieces of art, which the one in the background is his, and it's the same character. It's called The Odyssey of the Faceless Wanderer. It's a series that he's doing, and this character, because he felt like he was invisible to people, because he felt like no one saw him. He ends up literally with no face. And so he goes on this odyssey to find others who may have some kind of affliction like his, or who may be weird like he is. And so he meets all different types, aliens, and this and that. And then all of a sudden, me and him start talking. And I told him, I told him I loved the art. I said, I think it's amazing. And the story behind it I loved. And then I told him about the channel, and he's like, dude, you're not going to believe this. He's like, I got to send you a picture. And he sends me this picture that's behind us, of this guy literally walking up to Bigfoot. And he's like, we had this conversation about it all. And I don't know, it was just nuts, man. And again, just another thing where it's the synchronicities, like it all just fit into place. And I said to him, how would you feel about doing some commissioned work? And of course I said, I said, I'm poor, but obviously we can,
I'll pay you in kindness.
I'll pay in kindness. I'll pay in smiles. He said, he goes, I don't want any money. I don't want any of your money. He said, I'd be happy to do it for you. And so, yeah, man.
I think when two energies come together, Kyle, yeah, and they touch, it's not like a gay thing. It's not like a man and woman thing. It's about energy, okay? And at that time when he left and did his things and everything else like that, he's looking for something also. You're in that right place. He's in that right place. And it all comes together like a beautiful crescendo. It's like a lot of the things that you're doing seem to be kind of like, is somebody watching me at the minute?
Yeah. Just like that.
And what it is, Kyle, is it's you. When you're good energy, you're good energy. That's it. And like I was saying to you about forgiveness and forgiving you, we make bad mistakes. We've done some stupid shit and made some silly decisions and obviously bullshit regrets, yeah? And no matter what, when you was at your lowest ebb, when you thought about, maybe committing suicide and all these things, that one energy never changed. It was always that good energy. You just lost your way.
Yeah.
And that guy, he'd lost his way in what he loved doing, and he was doing stuff that he didn't love doing. And now he wants to do stuff that he loves doing, and now he realizes that he doesn't need the constraints and all the rest of it around him to love what he's doing. But he was always brainwashed and told that this is the system, this is what you've got to do. You've got to love this because you're made to love this and do all of this stuff that don't want to do.
Yep.
That manifests into somebody that's logical and creative, that you can only push a rat into a corner of a room that's going to come out fighting. So ultimately things have to change. And when things aren't good, the only thing to change is you. You know, when everything else is out of control, the only thing to control is you. So if you're not happy in a workplace, you're not happy in a relationship or whatever it is, it's you that has to make the change. That one thing's never going to change if you're unhappy. So he leaves, he finds his happiness, he finds a bit of a project, something to give him focus on, which doesn't make, you know, as a creative, creatives need probably more stuff to fill the void because they feel worthless, you know. If humans got no purpose, you really do feel worthless. But creative and really intelligent people, if they've got nothing to do, oh my God, they spiral out of control really quickly, you know?
Yep.
So when it comes down to this guy needing that one thing to keep him on track, that's you. That good light, that good soul, that good energy was there all of the time. And it's been there all of the time. We're all attracted to good energy. I repel bad energy. I have nothing to do with bad energy. No toxicity whatsoever. You know, I won't give my time to bad energy because time is so goddamn precious. It's just pointless. It's like now, you know, people can have comments, people can say whatever they want to say. At the end of the day, you listen to a bold guy with an opinion. But I hope to be good, and I hope to be good light, you know, and nothing but positive. It's never negative. All my messages and what I do is all about positivity. What you do and what you're trying to achieve is about positivity. There's lots of things within that, though, that you would like to make easier for you, and you'll get there. You know, there's many ways that you'll get there, but you're doing a great thing. And him doing the artwork makes him feel part of something as well, you know.
Sure, absolutely.
And gives him good value, you know, because we all like to have an input, don't we?
Absolutely.
Especially Bigfoot Lake and Cans and.
Hey, listen. I don't mean to cut this off, but
No.
I have to go back to work, which really sucks.
I know the feeling. I got loads to do.
My back is killing me today too. It's so bad. But I really want to continue this. I really would like to set aside a day, at least one time a month, for you to come on regularly, because everybody's loved this. And really? I know, yeah, absolutely. Everybody's loved it.
I can't see what people are saying, which is a shame because I've got to flick backwards and forwards to screens and stuff. But
oh, buddy, the people are. It's been one after another, you know.
Thank you so much.
Love Fresh, and you know, glad Fresh is on, and yeah,
that's really beautiful.
And so do I, and you know, I like I said to people in the live the other day. I don't know if you probably didn't catch it, but I said, you know, he may pretend, but he's got a giant heart. And he just wants to help, and so I want to have you back on it.
I'm kind of hardened by a lot of things that have happened to me in my life, you know, and a lot of things that I've seen and been through. I'm very, very hardened, and for me, you know, love is the biggest thing, and I've had that. People have tried to beat that love out of me. People have tried to take that love away from me. People have tried to manufacture me into a specific weapon or tool. Yeah. And my journey is one that would just books. There'd be books, you know, there'd be books. Yeah. But I love the fact that you can just be open, honest. I've got a voice where I don't want to, have my own channels or anything else like that. And I'm really, really happy to help everybody out. And, people want to contact me, they want to ask me questions. I'm a great listener. I'm also
People keep asking if you have like Facebook or anything. I'm guessing
no,
you probably don't.
no. I don't do anything that's controlled by the order. You think that all these things are encrypted. You think that all this, that everybody's watching you. They're watching everything that's going on. This is being probably watched now. It will be watched. It's watched. What's this guy doing? What's he talking about? What's going on? Blah blah blah. They're watching. If people want to contact me, there is ways. Obviously, they can contact me. They can contact me through you. If you want to do that, you can do that.
Yeah, if you guys want to get a hold of Fresh and you email me, I can get you in contact with him.
Yeah, I mean, you've got my number for what WA. Yeah, that's the only thing. But that phone, that device, will never ever leave because it's a monitoring device. Nobody really realizes that your iPhone, every 45 seconds, you don't see this. If you turn the lights off and use an infrared camera, you'll see that your iPhone is taking a photograph of you every 45 seconds. You don't even realize it's doing it. But you've got, if you put facial recognition on, that's what it's doing. It's giving you access to do it,
That's fun. And
then you've got Pegasus spyware from Israel.
You can only imagine the pictures that this phone's taking of me.
Believe me, some of the things they don't want to see some of the stuff I've been up to.
Tossing a bit.
Oh, no, none of that shit. Get out of the woods. Get out before I shoot you and put you in the boot. Freak show. Just before we go.
Go for it.
Does anybody carry these when they go out?
What the hell is that?
Okay, so this will find you. This is a tracker. This goes onto your person. So this one, for me, this one goes onto my body because when you're doing action stuff or anything else like that, it's strapped onto you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Get it? So this is a personal beacon. This is a personal finder.
Oh, that's awesome.
So if anything happens to you or you go missing, this sends out a signal that's relayed out into the ether, which is a radio wave digital communication that is picked up by, all your relevant rescue services, government, radars, etc. This is picked up. So I didn't know if anybody else uses one. I didn't know.
No, I don't, and I always kind of worried about that, because I go out by myself most days.
Well, what's going on, as well, with me at the minute? They want me in this portal. They want. I don't know how it's going to go on or what's going to go on. But now, I'm going to wear that because if anything happens to me, then it depends where the portal is. It might take me off to God only knows. But I'd sooner have that on, so it's bleeping away. So if anything does happen, and I think that everybody should have something like that because self-preservation starts with you.
Sure.
Your phone can be smashed. All these things can happen. If something's on your body, your phone's always going to be in your hand or it's always going to be seen. It can be knocked out. It can be easily taken away. When something's securely onto your body, it's a little bit more difficult,
Yeah.
And if your body's discarded with your clothes on, etc., and that's still on you, then somebody can find you. You're not another revenue gatherer for David Polidas.
Oh boy. Oh boy. All right. Let's end this thing. I got to go back to work. Plus my back is screaming.
That's where you should
so bad right now. Me and you message me tomorrow whenever you're ready, because I'll be awake early tomorrow. On I have a couple hours in the morning free, so we'll be able to talk more.
Yeah, it's whatever that is, 5 hours. What are you, 5 hours
behind you?
5 hours behind, yeah. So I'll get you up really early then.
Listen, you're not going to wake me. I'm awake at 4 a.m.
Are you?
every day.
Really?
Every day.
Why? What have you got? Have you got bowel problems or something? What's the script? What's your problem? What is your problem?
That's
Get yourself.
that's just when I start my day, brother.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, that's a serious addiction. If you've got to get up at that time of day and hit that day hard, that's a good life addiction, and I love it.
Every
That's
day,
amazing.
brother.
See,
Every single day.
when you go to bed, yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
when you wake up is when I go to bed.
Yeah, well, I mean, I go to bed generally around between 12 and 1, and then I wake up around 2:30, usually every night, for about 45 minutes, and I'll even jump on the computer then.
Okay.
And then I'll go back to bed from then till about 4:15.
That's crazy. You need to have just that one big block of sleep,
Yeah,
minimum
it doesn't happen.
6 hours.
Doesn't happen.
No, well, I'm a bit of a hypocrite sometimes. I'm minimum 4. So I work 16 to 20-hour days every day. Have done for 5 years now. Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's conditioning. It's basically you're a machine. That's just the way it goes. But you could seriously do with, like, for your health, 6 hours minimum a night.
Yeah, I know. And I know a lot of it. A lot of it has to do with this whole thyroid thing. When you have thyroid issues, you don't sleep normal. So we'll talk about it. I gotta go stretch because my back's it's killing me right now.
Sounds like a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it is. It's bad, dude. It's bad.
Listen, I'll tell you another time, the reason why I have all these issues, because I've got a compressed spine. So L1 to L5. So
Yeah.
parachute jumps, stuff on ranges, incidences on mountains, lots and lots of different things I'll tell you all about that's just crushed my spine. So I know exactly what you deal with every day. It's horrendous. I don't feel my legs. I'm like a puppet. Right, well, you get off.
I'm not going to be the one to stick my hand up your ass.
No, there's none of that. No, I'm quite all right with the operator I've got. Thanks.
These big old calloused hands.
Oh my God! Look at the state of them. Good grief! Look like they've been down the mine.
They've been somewhere.
The grappler. It's good to talk to you, Kyle.
You too, brother.
Thanks very much for having me on, as per usual.
We're gonna have you back 100%.
This is like the encoded transmission.
Yeah. Yep.
Encoded transmission. This is like a new thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Encoded transmission, impacted evacuations, whatever you want to call it.
We'll leave the evacuation. There's no need for that. Yeah, I just want to say thanks to everybody, and hopefully I'll see you real soon. I'll be back, obviously, in the chat with my family, doing my thing. Kyle, you're doing an amazing job.
Thank you, brother.
Keep doing what you're doing. You're attracting people. You're attracting traction, and that's good vibes, good energy, good vibrations. Vibe attracts the tribe, and just let it happen. Just let it happen, and all of the data that I get, all of the stuff, I will bring it through you.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Man.
You can be my my board out there, and I'll be the guy in the UK that keep the family strong and keep that knowledge pool coming in from a different perception. And yeah, let's crack on.
Let's do it. Thank you, brother. Thank you guys for being here tonight. I'll be back on Friday with Mr. Mark Green. He'll be telling us about all his experiences. He's
Amazing.
got a ton, it's just a ton of stuff on his property and at his hunting club, and for years and years. He's a wonderful guy too. And he doesn't have Bigfoots. Him got boogers. He's got boogers down there in Alabama. So he's a wonderful guy, and he's really fun to talk to. So you're going to enjoy him. So Friday night, I'll be back at 8 p.m. and we're going to set this up. I'm going to talk to Fresh tomorrow, and I'm going to make sure that I set him up to get back on here next month, or maybe even this month. We'll see, because it's early in the month still. So thank you guys. Thank you, Fresh. I appreciate you, man. And I'll talk to you tomorrow, early morning my time, probably midday your time. You guys have a wonderful night. Until the next time, love and light. I'll see you guys.
Take care.